Alright guys, I hadn't made a making anything video in a while, and I was in the middle of trying to make a stand for my post leg vise. I thought, well, Jesus, these guys would probably want to see that. So what I have here, if you take a peek, that's good enough, right? This is the original post leg vise, 4-inch. This is a 5-inch or something like that. This is the one I'm going to put in next to the forge, and I have another stand I'm going to make for the original one. So I went to the scrapyard yesterday, found this plate, all right, it's already drilled, ready to go. It had a couple of wings on it. I cut those wings off, and then also at the scrapyard, I got this tubing. It's got to be 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little thicker. So what I'm thinking, this may be the end of this video. Before it even starts, I'm thinking I'll put that over, but it don't fit. Sons of bitches. That sucks. Alright, so I'll cut that whole, I was hoping this would fit over it. Cut that whole bottom thing off, get it ground out clean. Anyway, this tubing, like I said, it's more than 1/4. That should be a pretty strong thing. So I'll cut that, put a top plate on it, and go from there. But let me go ahead and cut this bottom off. Oh, that sucks. I didn't want to do that. It's one of these moments in the kind of work that I do, where you know that what you want to do is going to be too much work, and somehow what you just did was create a piece of art. I think somebody would buy that to hang it on the wall. Don't you think? Holy shit, I might just keep it just like that. Wow. If not, I have a lot of grinding to do in a couple of spots anyway. Damn, it's so weird looking. Alright, so I ground out the corners enough where I think that tubing will fit. Didn't expect to have to do that part. Now, what I've done, what I want to do, is we'll use the plasma cutter. I hope that's clean enough for me without the plasma cutter, but we measured already that from that plate to where I want this to be, I want 33.5. That gives me a little bit of room to play. So I'm going to mark this 33.5. We're going to go ahead and cut it. I hope with the plasma cutter. Alright, there's my mark. Probably should have ground it out. It would probably cut a heck of a lot easier if it was clean. But since it's marked, we're going to see how she does cut. I'll bring you along for a little bit of it. Where did all my gloves? Where have all the gloves been? Gone. Flowers, everyone. When do they ever win? When? Yeah, that's a full 3/8 thick stuff here too. So we might be a little ugly on our first blow through. Hopefully we'll be okay from there. I'll stay on the north side of the line. Oh, show. Let's get a blow through here first, see where we end up. What you get when you're just not with it. There's a whole lot of rusty nothing on that sucker. Let's see if we can get it to bite. Gotta change my That's the sound of them working on the chain gang. That's the sound of them working on the chain. Don't you know it? You gotta be relatively square. We gotta take the tabletop on this. Hopefully we can hold her where we want her long enough to get that done. Well, we're a quarter-inch long, but I guess as long as we maintain that all the way up. I have a quarter-inch to play. What do you guys think? Did we do it? Do you think we did it? That's how you do it. Dr. Seuss's neighborhood. Alright, so the moment of truth is now with the thing fit over our other little doohickey. The answer is yes. Next moment of truth is that when I put this post vise on there, without losing my fingers, I hope. Oh, I should have done this on the floor. Am I gonna have room for the leg? Yeah, I am. She looks plenty straight, and I got an inch more I can play with. All right, I think we'll be okay. I do. How much this sucker weighs? Alright, we'll get her cleaned up, squared up, and we'll just weld that sucker right there. Alright, she's sitting pretty square right there. Just throw some tacks in and see what we end up with. Warp her a little half inch plate a little bit though. I can't complain about that right there. That looks good. And we'll just weld her up. A few more tacks, weld her up. She don't look bad neither. That's cool. Alrighty. Guys, hopefully when we get done here, you won't be bitching about my freaking post leg vise moving all over the place. So there's the start of it. Alright, so I gotta clean that top a little bit. I did pick up the plate at the scrapyard to go on top of there. Hopefully go on top of there in a way where it might turn into a tray or something. I wonder if I should do it like that. Or like that, so I could have tools out. Anyway, we'll think about it. This will go on top of that. Nice and tight. And I'm actually going to weld that down there. Makes it a little bit high, but that's how high the leg is. You can see it, yep. This one's missing the spring. So, and it's also missing one of the wedges. I have to make both of those items up. So my point now is I want to figure out where that plate goes. Bolt holes, bolts welded in or something. And figure out, I like the idea of offsetting it to one side, so I have a table on that one side, plus I have clear distance over here. I like that idea. So let me do some thinking and we'll figure it out the rest of the way. I gotta loosen this up. I didn't know I was missing that wedge. Sucks. Good thing I know a blacksmith. Good thing I know a freaking blacksmith. I knew I had to make the spring for it, but I didn't know I had to make the wedge. So again, following the plan of keeping this table offset, so I have a little workspace or I can add to it later. I got this thing squared on here, marked where I need the holes to go. I haven't lost all my tools yet. I haven't found them all either. There's a lot of buckets with tools. So we'll mark those, we'll center punch those, and hopefully we'll be happy when we get done. Drill those out. It's like 3/8. I'll find either some all thread or something. Yeah, we'll drill them out to 7/16. All thread or something, because when I place this on here centered, I'm not going to have room for the heads on these two outside bolts, so we're going to have to weld those in like that. So we'll get them drilled out. Maybe some all thread and some 3/8 all thread. I don't feel like I slept a wink last night. I don't know why, but anyway, I had another piece of plate laying around. I'm not sure what's going on with this piece, but we'll look into it. It was just amazingly difficult to drill. So now I'll go back and change my plan a little. I don't think I want this big a table, do I? Try to think if I should just leave it the way it is. Have a decent table on the side here or not. It certainly wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. Maybe. Let's do it. We can always cut it later if we don't like the way it looks. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this the front corner. We're going to lay it out and drill it, and I'll get caught up with you. Alright, so we got the holes drilled. It's funny, this last hole here was a little smaller than the rest. I actually drilled them out 1/2 inch, so that'll give us a little more meat. And now I need to either find my 1/2 inch all thread if I can, or we'll get some all thread, and I'm just going to weld some studs in there. Like I mentioned before, the bolt pattern conflicts with the tube underneath, so we'll find something. Alright, so we got a small thread. I put a nut and washer on there, so that'll help try to hold it pretty square. We'll just plug weld those suckers up. just like that. Times 2. And then we'll grind those off, or flatten those off, I mean. Clean that off with final welding onto the pedestal. We measure. Of course, we should check and make sure everything fits before we do, huh? So that's where she's going to be going on. But we better check it just to make sure. Square as I want it to be. Let's hope I didn't just frig up. Hopefully they're within tolerance. Man, I can't believe how tired I feel today. I feel like I'm drugged. I don't trust myself. That fits, just a little bit of an overhang here, which is what I wanted. Everything's good, which means we can now assemble onto the tube, which is going to be a little tricky. Let's just see what it looks like. Actually, let's see what this looks like. Pretty damn good there. Not too horrible there. Not too horrible there. A little bit off. But not bad. Or like a bubble off there, though. I'll keep that in mind. So my point is that if I set this thing on here and we have similar measurements, I think we'll be okay. I'm just going to tack it on there. And then we'll lay her down and do some serious welding. Let me get set up for that. I gotta grind the top of this too. There's not gonna be a whole hell of a lot of way for me to hold that sucker on there, but we'll get it stuck. We'll get her stuck and then we'll determine, oh shit, where are you gonna put this? Then we'll determine how level we are. Just enough tack to hold it. I don't know if I'm man enough to do that. I don't know if I'm man enough to do that. A little overhang in both directions won't hurt a little. Lucky anyway. Just get a little tack on there for now. Jesus. I don't know what that was going on my wire, but too many kinks. Too many kinks. Oh, that's not a very good tack at all, I'll tell you that much. Son of a bitch. That's what you get when you're fucking stupid. I'm sick of being stupid. I really am. You didn't have to do that to me, you know that, right? You could have at least cooperated. A little bit. Do things half-assed, John. Sometimes there's no right way to do it. And then there's always a right way with it. So if we're the plumb in this direction, which we are no longer plumb, and we're plumb in this direction, which we are not, tip you up like that, you're plumb-ish. Here you need to come up quite a bit. So what about in this direction? We're looking good there and good there. Alright, well at least we only have to fix one direction. Now let me get this thing here. So I just need to bring it up a little bit here. Alright, pretty close. Without breaking my freaking weld, huh? Oh, that's a lot. It's almost a fucking 8. I got nothing that I'm used to having around me right now. That kind of sucks. But I think we're looking at an 8. Hopefully I can move this son of a bitch one more time without breaking my weld. Just enough. Level. There's still off. A lot. More than an 1/8. We're gonna have trouble. Oh, wait a minute. More down in the back. Shit, you ain't bad there. You ain't bad there. You ain't bad there. Yeah. Close enough for what I need. Alright, let's tack it right there. Oh, my arm hurts so bad. Yeah, let's just check it one more time before we commit. Okay. Oh, shit. I let you come back, didn't I? I let you come back, didn't I? Little fucker. You came down. Alright, so what's the major problem? It's close. Oh, you're close. I guess I'm alright, I'm gonna pack it one more time and then we'll get her up on her side. Okay. I've been partying, Chandler. That's the bitch of it. Oh, come on. We can get you up here. Alright. I think she'll stay there. And we'll just weld that son of a gun on and hope for the best. Let hope do the rest. Not bad for a blind man. Not bad for a blind man. Alright, I'll finish it up. So we were even watching anyway. Alrighty, so she's welded up. It's turning out to be a pretty hefty little stand. I think if I didn't break something up, she's gonna be just fine. Oh. I warped the bottom of that 1/2-inch plate. I was cutting, so she's a little got on the wobble there, but I think unless I freak something up really bad, I think she'll be okay. God, my arm hurts like a fuck. Except you dumbass. God damn it, Chandler. I always fuck something up. I wanted it centered on the tube. And instead I put the thing right on the edge. But that's the way it goes, I guess. Take you off for a second. I just want to see how that leg will line up. Yeah, we'll be okay. I gotta get a wedge for that. Just weld that freaking bottom right down. The hell with it. Once we get everything where we want it to be. Yeah, no, I actually wanted an overhang on this side so that this is centered, but that's right, it's not going to affect anything. I'm just tired. Something's wrong with Shannon today. Alright. Something wrong with Shannon, man. Alright, so I made up a little tray with some angle. I just weld that right on there, so things that I have on the table will stay there. Boy, this does look like it's going downhill. I hope I didn't fuck it up too bad. A little bit here, a little bit there. We'll see. So I'm going to just clean that up a little bit. Alright, so there's a tray on it. And that way, because my table looks like it's tipped down. God, we had a level on it. Whatever, it's, you know, it just looks like it's going downhill there. We'll have to see what we end up with. And see, I tried to pull this and it didn't pull. I think that the plate that I had was warped a little bit, and I think that could have gone the other way, but it's alright. Anyway, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do now? I think the only thing I need to do is get that wedge. Get that wedge in there, get this thing mounted, and then figure out where I want it in the shop. Let me see about making a wedge, I guess. I don't know why I'm thinking I'm forgetting something or doing something wrong, but I can't think of anything I need to do now except for get this thing mounted. So until I figure out what I'm being stupid about, I guess that's what we'll do. And this thing doesn't want to fit back over here, so we're going to persuade it a little bit. Had it on there for a minute. Come on, get back on. Maybe it was directional in some way. You can do it. Say, oh boy, I hope it goes on farther than that. Why would that not? After that's in all the way, it's not tight on here. Why would that be true? I might have to put something on this side to snug it up, because it would not be true, because this should have been out here farther. Let me show you what I mean. And probably I should have known this. But, can you see it, or I gotta bring it down here? Yeah, so this arm is in all the way against here, and I have this much play here, okay? Which means in reality this should have been out here another little bit. So I got, I don't know, damn near a ½ an inch of play. So I'm gonna have to just put a plate in the back here to build it out. Alright, so I threw a piece of ½ inch steel on the back there to build that out a little bit. Let's try this again. Try this again. Sure does have the flavor of a knuckle buster in this adventure. everything works well, this should go in here. My wedge should go in here. And that sucker should tighten up like a baste. Just like that. Just like that, children. That. I gotta get a spring, right? That's all I'm missing is the spring. I got that one, I gotta make one. So then I'm going to straighten that up. And you may not like it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna weld it right to that bottom plate. As soon as I'm happy with the way it looks. Which is just about there. And I guarantee sucker won't wiggle well. You weld it down. Alright, so I dressed up the edges a little bit. She's actually not in too bad a shape anyway. I welded the bottom, but only on the outside circle. So there's somebody wanted to cut that off. They wouldn't have to cut all the way through to get that off. It's all tightened down. Hit it with a wire wheel. I wish I had a spring made, but I don't. But we'll get one made for sure. Just see where we're going to put her. So this has been one of my problems I'm having now, is where do you put everything? Was that the sun glaring or are you dirty? That's a good point. If I'm doing, I'll have to get a curtain or something for that. 'Cause here I can keep the window. Oh, Jesus. What a fucked up day, man. So, I think that looks good. I want to be able to work on stuff, you know, there's 3 or 4 feet there. That freedom to work here. I don't want it to be in the way when I'm on, you know, the edge here at the corner of the anvil. I think that works. I don't want it to be too far away. Come in from the heat over to the vise. Do your thing. So I think that's where it's going to go. It's a by guess and by golly kind of thing, but the only by golly I have now is when I was at the hardware store half an hour ago. I wish I had bought some anchors. So let me go get some anchors and we'll bolt that sucker down. And then you guys have nothing to talk about. Alrighty, so that's where she's going to go. We're going to put her up a little bit to the wall. Eyeballed anyway. I'm going to put her in. I'm going to pull her ring in, I'll tell you. Oh, sugars. There you go. Let's start right there. And your washer and your big washer. You know who you are. That. That's good. All the hardware one is there. Yeah. The pins are out. Oh yeah, I just needed a little persuasion. Just need a little persuasion. I think that'll work. Oh, yeah, she's done. Yeah, hold that crunching. Cracking's all about. But there she is, boys and girls. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think we have to switch around here. I think, well, now we need to get a spring for it first. when I'm sitting there hammering it. No more complaining. Looks good, don't you? No more complaining from you guys, anyway. Put my punches right from the old shop right there. See how bad they bounce. Okay. Perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. There you have it, children. Just sign. I still got so much more to do. But the new post leg vise mounted as tight as you could probably get it. Remember that 1/2 inch piece that I put in there? Thinking I was supposed to have that over farther. I was sitting here looking at my great accomplishment and said, alright, I gotta just make that spring. I'll take a look at the other one so I know what shape it is, and then I realize that that spring gets held in behind here. And it's about a 1/2 inch thick. And that's why this was off. So when I make the spring, there's nothing to hold it on. Nothing there. To do it right, I would have to cut the bottom off like I shouldn't have welded in the first place. Cut this 1/2 inch piece off, so now I would have room for the spring. Sometimes I swear to God, Chandler's the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. Sometimes I wonder why I even try. Can you believe I did that? Wouldn't do it again, right? I guess we learned something. Shit. Hope you enjoyed this one. I know I've been in and out of weird moods on this whole video, but that's the way it is. I get tired and everything else in the world. But hey, thank you all for watching. There's a good example of a post leg vise mount that almost cost me nothing. It's all scrap material anyway. And I think you'll be much happier watching it, not wheel. So take care. Catch you in the next one. Soon. If you found this video helpful, educational, maybe even if you just found it entertaining, and you want to support me, you can jump back to my channel. There's a button on the right hand side of the screen called support, and it's kind of like a tip jar. You can go ahead and leave Chandler a tip for this video, and that'll help me make some more, I guarantee. Thanks for your support, as always.